When a mature woman finds herself drawn to a younger man, the world whispers judgments, but the soul recognizes something that transcends earthly timelines. Edgar Cayce, the visionary who unlocked the mysteries of reincarnation and karmic ties, taught us that nothing happens by chance in our lives, especially encounters that inexplicably make our hearts race. Every person who crosses our path carries fragments of our spiritual history, echoes of past lives manifesting as instant chemistry or unsettling familiarity. But there's a subtle, profound mistake many mature women make when involved with younger men, a mistake not in the age gap, but in misinterpreting the signals their soul is sending. This mistake can transform a sacred encounter into a painful replay of karmic patterns, where old patterns repeat instead of being transcended. Imagine for a moment that your soul is like an ancestral mirror, polished by millennia of experiences. When you meet someone significant, this mirror reflects not only who you are today, but also who you were in other lifetimes. The attraction you feel for a younger man may be the echo of an unconsummated love from centuries past, a karmic debt needing to be settled, or an opportunity for healing your soul has chosen to experience in this incarnation. Edgar Cayce revealed in his psychic readings that souls often reincarnate in groups, alternating roles and ages to learn different aspects of unconditional love. That young man who awakens inexplicable feelings in you may have been your child in a past life, your spiritual mentor in another time, or even your soulmate in a previous existence where circumstances prevented union. The age difference in this life is merely an illusion of the physical dimension. In a spiritual dimension, you are eternal souls dancing the same sacred dance for millennia. The first mistake mature women make is interpreting this attraction through the limited lens of contemporary society. They question, what will others think? Or am I being ridiculous? But the soul knows no social judgments. The soul recognizes only the vibration of true love and the opportunity for spiritual growth. When you deny this connection for fear of judgment, you're refusing a cosmic gift, a present the universe prepared specifically for your evolution. The second mistake, even more subtle, is trying to mold this relationship within conventional power dynamics. Many mature women, accustomed to their independence and wisdom gained over the years, try to assume the role of mentor or protector, forgetting that each soul has its own journey and its own time to mature. Edgar Cayce always emphasized that true love allows the other to be exactly who they are, without trying to change or control them. There's a fundamental difference between being a companion who offers wisdom when asked and being a mother figure trying to direct every step of the partner. The young man who came to you doesn't need to be educated or molded. He needs to be loved and accepted in his totality. Your maturity should be a source of emotional stability and understanding, not a tool of control or superiority. When you try to be the older, wiser woman who will teach the inexperienced young man everything, you're missing the opportunity to learn from him too. Because herein lies a profound spiritual truth. This young man brought with him gifts and perspectives you need to complete your own evolutionary journey. Perhaps he carries a spontaneity you've lost over the years, a capacity to dream that's been stifled by adult responsibilities, or a worldview that can expand your spiritual horizons. Edgar Cayce taught us that every encounter is a mutual opportunity for growth. You have something to offer him, but he also has something precious to offer you. The third mistake is the most painful of all, trying to rush the natural maturation of the relationship. The anxiety arising from the age difference makes many women want quick definitions, immediate commitments, future guarantees. But the soul works in cosmic rhythms, not human timelines. A karmic relationship needs time to unfold, for each layer of connection to be revealed in its perfect moment. Think of a flower you try to force to bloom before its time, it wilts and dies. Similarly, when you pressure a young man to make emotional decisions he's not yet ready for, you may be sabotaging something that could naturally flourish in its own season. True emotional maturity manifests in patience, in the ability to allow things to develop organically, trusting divine timing. Edgar Cayce always spoke about the importance of living in the present, of honoring what's happening now, without getting lost in anxieties about the future. When you're with this young man, allow yourself to be completely present in the experience. Feel the joy he brings to your life, learn from his unique perspective, let yourself be rejuvenated by his vital energy, but don't cling to expectations about where this should go or how long it should last. There's an ancient wisdom that says some loves are like shooting stars, brief, intense, and eternally memorable. Others are like the sunrise. They begin softly and grow in intensity and duration. The secret is to recognize what kind of love is manifesting in your life and honor it accordingly, without trying to force it to be something it's not. The fourth mistake lies in constant comparison, whether comparing yourself to younger women or comparing this relationship to others you've had in the past. The insecurity stemming from the age difference can make you constantly question your worth, your attractiveness, your relevance in his life. But this is a betrayal of what your soul truly represents at this moment on your journey. You are not competing with anyone. You are offering something unique and irreplaceable, the depth that comes from lived experience, the serenity born of self-knowledge, the capacity to love without desperation that only develops with time. As Edgar Cayce reminded us, each soul has a specific purpose in each incarnation, and at this point in your life, you represent something no younger woman could offer, not because you are better or worse, but because you are different, because you bring with you the layers of wisdom that only years can carve into the soul. When you compare yourself, you are denying your own spiritual majesty. You are forgetting that you have arrived here carrying inner treasures that have been polished by every experience, every loss, every victory, every tear, and every smile. This inner wealth is what truly attracts, not your age, not your appearance, but the luminosity that emanates from a soul that knows itself. If you've gotten this far identifying with these reflections, if you feel these words echo something that already existed within you, perhaps it's because your soul is ready to receive these truths. And if you wish to continue exploring the mysteries of karmic relationships, the connections that transcend time, and the lessons that love teaches us, consider subscribing to this channel and hitting the notification bell. Each video we share here is a small session of spiritual healing, an opportunity to better understand the designs of your soul and the sacred purposes behind every encounter. By joining our community, you will not only receive these messages directly, but you also contribute to our ability to reach other souls who, like you, seek answers to the mysteries of the heart. Your presence here is not coincidence, it's divine synchronicity. The fifth mistake is perhaps the most complex, confusing soul passion with emotional dependence. The intensity you feel can be so overwhelming that you interpret it as need, as if your happiness depends entirely on his presence in your life. But Edgar Cayce taught us that true love is expansive, not limiting. It makes us feel more connected to the entire universe, not just one person. When you feel you need him to feel complete, when your self-esteem fluctuates according to the attention he gives you, when you lose connection with your own passions and interests, then what began as a sacred encounter has transformed into a gilded cage. Real emotional maturity manifests in the ability to love intensely without losing yourself in the process. The younger man who entered your life came to add to you, not to complete something that was missing. You were already complete before he arrived. He simply brought to the surface aspects of yourself that may have been dormant. The difference is subtle, but crucial. When you understand that you are whole in yourself, you can offer love from a place of abundance, not scarcity. Imagine a flourishing garden that receives a visit from a rare and colorful butterfly. The garden doesn't become more of a garden because of the butterfly, but its presence adds a dimension of beauty and magic that didn't exist before. If the butterfly departs, the garden remains a magnificent garden, just different. This is the perspective that spiritual maturity brings, the ability to deeply appreciate the presence of another without becoming dependent on it. The sixth mistake is related to the denial of the inherent challenges in this type of relationship. The difference in life stages is real and brings with it practical challenges that cannot be romanticized or ignored. He may be in a phase of discovery and experimentation, while you have already gone through that and seek more stability. He may have different priorities, different rhythms, different needs. Recognizing these differences is not pessimism, it's spiritual realism. Edgar Cayce always emphasized the importance of honesty with oneself as the basis for any genuine spiritual growth. This means looking at this relationship with clear eyes, seeing not only the magic and connection, but also the challenges and differences. When you do this with love and acceptance, you can navigate these challenges wisely, transforming them into opportunities for joint growth. Perhaps you need to find creative ways to honor the different rhythms of life. Perhaps deeper communication about expectations and needs is necessary. Perhaps some adjustments are needed so that both feel respected and valued. This doesn't make the relationship less special, it makes it more conscious and more likely to thrive. The seventh mistake is allowing the fear of the future to eclipse the beauty of the present. Anxiety about what will happen when he wants to start a family, or what will it be like when I get older, can steal all the joy from what is happening now. But the future is a mental construct. The only real moment is this one you are experiencing together. Edgar Cayce reminded us that time is an illusion of the physical dimension. In the spiritual dimension, there is only the eternal now. When you can anchor yourself in the present, when you can be fully present in moments of connection, you are experiencing the true nature of the soul, which is timeless and eternal. This doesn't mean being irresponsible or not making plans. It means not allowing concerns about a hypothetical future to destroy the joy of a real present. Each moment of genuine connection you share has value in itself, regardless of what may or may not happen afterward. The eighth mistake is the tendency to idealize the relationship so much that you lose sight of your own individual growth journey. It's easy to get lost in the intensity of the connection and forget that you also have your own lessons to learn, individual dreams to pursue, aspects of yourself to develop. One of the most important lessons Edgar Cayce left us is that each soul has a unique mission in this incarnation. Part of that mission can be lived in partnership, but another part is strictly individual. When you put all your focus on the relationship, you may be neglecting important aspects of your own spiritual development. Mature love is the kind that allows both people to continue growing as individuals while building something together. You need to keep alive your own passion for life, your own interests, your own friendships, your own dreams. This not only keeps you interesting and vibrant, but also offers a healthy model of individuality within the union. The ninth mistake is perhaps the most painful, allowing outside voices to influence your intimate decisions of the heart. Family, friends, society, they'll all have opinions about your relationship with a younger man. Some of these opinions will be openly expressed, others will be communicated through glances, subtle comments, or even eloquent silences. But here's a fundamental truth. No one but you and him can truly understand the spiritual nature of the connection you share. People judge based on outward appearances, on social norms, on their own fears and limitations. They can't see the golden threads of light that connect your souls. They can't feel the resonance that exists between you. They can't understand the lessons you've come to learn together. Edgar Cayce taught us that each soul must follow its own inner truth, even when that truth challenges external expectations. This doesn't mean being stubborn or ignoring well-intentioned advice, but it does mean giving more weight to the wisdom of your own heart than to the opinions of others. When you allow the fear of social judgment to influence your love decisions, you are betraying your own soul. You are choosing external approval over internal fulfillment. And that choice always comes at a high price. The regret of not having been true to your own truth. The 10th mistake is failing to recognize the signs when it's time to let go. Not all karmic encounters are destined to last a lifetime in this dimension. Some come to teach specific lessons, heal old wounds, or awaken dormant aspects of our nature. Once the spiritual purpose has been fulfilled, the connection may naturally begin to transform or even dissolve. Recognizing when this is happening requires brutal honesty with yourself and mature spiritual wisdom. The signs can be subtle, conversations that become strained where before they were natural, a decrease in the emotional intensity that once characterized the relationship, a growing feeling that you're heading in different directions. Edgar Cayce taught us that resisting the natural flow of life creates unnecessary suffering. When a relationship has fulfilled its karmic purpose, trying to force it to continue can transform a beautiful spiritual experience into a source of pain and frustration. Wisdom lies in recognizing these moments and allowing the transformation to happen gracefully. This doesn't mean giving up easily or running at the first sign of difficulty. It means developing the spiritual sensitivity to distinguish between the natural challenges that are part of growing together and the signs that the journey together has come to an end. It's a subtle but crucial distinction. The final and most important mistake is forgetting that you are an eternal soul, living a temporary human experience. The age difference, social expectations, fears about the future, these are all concerns of the temporary personality. Your soul doesn't age, doesn't worry about social conventions, doesn't fear the judgment of others. When you can connect with this broader perspective, when you can see your life through the eyes of your soul, everything changes. The relationship with the younger man ceases to be a personal drama and becomes a sacred dance between two eternal souls who chose to meet at this specific moment in time and space. Edgar Cayce constantly reminded us that we are here to learn to love unconditionally. Every relationship, every encounter, every connection is an opportunity to practice this unconditional love, first with ourselves, then with the other, and finally with all of creation. Unconditional love doesn't mean accepting any behavior or giving up your needs and boundaries. It means loving the essence of the other person regardless of their temporary actions, understanding that we are all in a process of evolution and that we sometimes make mistakes along the way. When you can love in this way, you become a channel for divine love. Your presence in the younger man's life becomes a blessing, regardless of how long you stay together. And his presence in your life also becomes a blessing, regardless of the challenges that may arise. The true healing of karmic patterns happens when we can transcend the expectations of the personality and embrace the purpose of the soul. This means being present to what is happening now, honoring the connection that exists, learning the lessons that present themselves, and trusting the larger process that is unfolding. If you are destined to stay together, the universe will conspire to make it happen. If you are destined to go your separate ways after a period of connection, the universe will also provide for this transition smoothly and naturally. Your task is not to control the outcome, but to fully participate in the experience with an open heart and a clear mind. Remember that every tear shed for love, every moment of shared joy, every lesson learned through connection with another human being is contributing to your spiritual evolution. Nothing is wasted in the universe. Everything serves the greater purpose of your soul. True emotional maturity doesn't come from chronological age, but from the ability to love without losing yourself, to surrender without losing your identity, to trust without becoming naive. It's the wisdom that allows you to embrace the vulnerability of love while maintaining the strength of your individuality. When you master this art, the age difference becomes irrelevant. What matters is the quality of the connection, the depth of mutual understanding, the ability to grow together while respecting individual rhythms and needs. You may have found in a younger person a soul that resonates with yours, regardless of the temporal garments you're both wearing in this incarnation. Edgar Cayce taught us that the ultimate purpose of all human experiences is to bring us closer to divine love. Every relationship is an opportunity to practice this love, to express it more fully, to understand it more deeply. The younger person who has entered your life may be one of your greatest teachers on this journey, just as you may be one of their greatest teachers. Trust the process, trust your intuition, trust the love you share, and most importantly, trust yourself in the wisdom you've gained, the beauty you radiate, the unique capacity you have to love and be loved. You don't need to apologize for loving, You don't need to justify connecting. You don't need to explain choosing happiness. Life is a succession of sacred encounters disguised as coincidences. When you recognize this, when you can see the hand of the divine in seemingly accidental meetings, you become a conscious co-creator of your own experience. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become an active participant in the cosmic dance of love and evolution. May this reflection awaken in you the courage to honor your feelings, the wisdom to navigate challenges with grace, and the faith that no matter what happens, you are exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, loving exactly as you need to love. True love is never a mistake, even when it defies conventions, even when it presents challenges, even when it doesn't meet the expectations we had. The only real mistake is not having the courage to follow your heart's calling when it resonates with the truth of your soul. And now, looking within yourself, at the paths your soul has chosen to tread, at the encounters it has orchestrated in your life, I ask you, which voice will you choose to listen to? The voice of society that judges based on appearances, or the voice of your soul that recognizes true love, regardless of the clothes it wears?